Okay, let's get honest about ourselves. How many of you have too much stuff? I mean, really, really. Can you just look around where you are right now and you decide, do you have too much stuff? What does that do to you, and what are you going to do about it? Anything? Does it matter? Let's talk more about that today. How are the bends in your road? Sometimes we're moving too fast and they are hard to navigate, and sometimes we don't even see them coming. I hope your bends are smooth and gentle. But no matter how your road bends, I know that God will see us through. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to catch other videos along the way. Welcome back to the Bending Road. Glad you could join me today. Yeah, Dave and I made a big announcement last week, and you may or may not have heard this, but we are actually going to retire. We're going to retire as of August 31st. Now, of course, he is retired. He's been retired for a few years, and but he's been doing some work at a church in the area and has loved that, and I have absolutely loved my work here in Western Pennsylvania. I love the churches. I love the people. The worship at time have been great, and people are just so generous and loving and supportive and caring, and it's just been wonderful. But so when we are done here at the end of August, we are going to go back to our camp in Pennsylvania, where we spent a couple of summers ago. If you're interested in that, you can find those videos. We were kind of forced into that. I mean, it was our decision, but we felt like we didn't have any choice, and so we lived there for a couple of months. It was not easy. You watch those videos. I struggled. That would be the summer of 2024. And yeah, I struggled with all of that. We had put all our stuff in a storage unit. We sold a lot of stuff. I mean, the day we were moving, I was just putting stuff out on the front lawn. I had something on Facebook. I said, come and get it, make a donation. My sister was out there just receiving whatever people gave. It didn't matter. And we just got rid of everything we could, put what was left in the storage unit, and then lived at camp for a couple of months. We then got a call about this appointment here, and we moved here on September 1st. We began the appointment here on September 1st, and we've just loved it here. But we've been planning our retirement, what we would do in retirement for about 18 years. And what our plan is to get in the RV and travel. We don't own a home. We own the property at our camp, but that's, we can't live there full time. It's not winterized, and it's, it's just not adequate for full-time living. So the plan has been to move into the RV, and it's a little scary. It's a little intimidating. I mean, we've got to plan this is no longer camping, it's living. And what we used to see as camping, making a reservation at a campground, is now living. That's our rent, that we have to get a new place to live every few weeks, every few months, however often we have to move or decide to move. What that also means is we cannot take all of our stuff with us. As a matter of fact, we can't take anything with us. Pretty much everything we own, except for a few clothes and some dishes and some, stuff to make meals, and a little bit of bedding, maybe a couple sets of bedding, is really all we can take with us. There's just not enough room in the camper. And we did downsize our camper. If you want to know more, you can go to our other website, our other YouTube channel called Porta Parsonage, and that has a whole lot more detail as to what our camper and what size and what we're living in and all that. So we are in the process. We now have about 7 months to get rid of everything we own. Usually when we're packing to move, we're just taking things off shelves and throwing them in boxes. Yeah, we downsize. We've always downsized a little bit. Do I really need this? Do I want to take it with me? Have I used it in a while? And but everything mostly goes into boxes, and then it gets moved, and then it gets unpacked, and then it gets packed, and then it gets moved. And we've been doing this all of our lives. But this time is different, because when we take something off the shelf, we know we probably cannot take this with us. So is it going to go to one of the kids? If so, which one? Is it going to go to Goodwill? Is it going to go in the trash? Are we going to try to sell it? What are we going to do with this? Do I have somebody in mind who I can give this to, who would want it, who would use it, who would appreciate it? But it's never an option to stick it in a box. That's not an option for us. It has to go somewhere. If we decide that we're going to keep it, it can go in the camper, or maybe it's camp related, so it's something that we need at our camp. But if we decide that, we have to figure out a place for it. If we're going to decide to put it in the camper, where are we going to put it? And they're very limited space. So we've been going through this process, and while we are going through this process, of course, I'm still preaching every Sunday, which I love to do, but I'm preaching the series called Treasure. And in this series, it starts out with looking at our treasure and making sure that we are storing up for ourselves treasures in heaven. And you can find that in Matthew 6. I would strongly recommend reading through Matthew 6. The first part, let me find it, is 19 through 24. Don't store up for yourself treasures on earth where moth and vermin will destroy and where thieves break in and steal, but instead store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. For where your treasure is, there your heart is. Because see, wherever you build your treasure, your heart has to go there. Because your heart, life has to take care of it. If you want a big treasure, you're going to have to work. You're going to have to keep working. There's no retirement there. There's not a lot of vacation time. You got to work either to earn enough money to support it or time to maintain it, right? You got to work to maintain a house or a property or whatever. That was the start of my sermon series. While we're preparing to make this announcement and pack up all our stuff, the next one we're gonna talk about fasting and praying and giving, and how that affects our treasure. And that's really taking all of this good that we have, all of this treasure that we have, and giving it back to God. But we're going to close that section with Matthew 6, 25 through 34. And what that talks about is don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry about your life, what you'll eat, what you'll drink. Don't worry about your body, what you're going to wear. Life is more than food and clothes. And that's really, I feel like that's what we're preparing for. I mean, we will take a little bit of clothing with us. We will find our food along the way. It'll be like stopping at the grocery store every couple of days to get some food and making sure we know what is it that we're going to eat over the next couple of days, because there's no storing up food. We can't pack away food. There's no room for canning. There's no room, freezer space. There's a little bit of freezer space, so we can maybe we'll shop for the next 7 days, and then that's it. And we eat what we have. There's not a lot of extra money, so we're not going to be going out to eat, and some of those things are going to change. our biggest places to stop are going to be like Love's or a Pilot Flying J, or Sheetz is not going to be through there. Pilot Flying J probably is where we're going to stop most, and then Walmart. Everything we need is probably going to be found at Walmart while we spend a night there getting from point A to point B. This is a very different life. Our full-time RV living is a very different life than living in your sticks and bricks house. It takes planning, and it takes a dedication to that planning. And we've been talking about this, like I said, for 18 years. We've been planning for it. We have little spreadsheets. We've got plans. We've got addresses and all sorts of things already. But up till now, it's all been a dream. Now there's a reality to it. Again, we have 7 months to pretty much get rid of everything we own. I'm hoping we can make a few dollars on selling some things, but I'll tell you, if there's somebody in need, we don't have a lot left, but we need to just listen to God and be generous with whatever we have. Anyway, this is a new adventure for us, new way of living. And these scriptures, don't store up for yourself treasures on earth. Don't worry about what you're going to eat or drink. Give everything you have to God. And I just wonder, what does that say to you who have lived in your homes for years and years, or plan to live in your home for years and years? I don't know that life. I have never lived that life. We have always moved and moved and moved. Probably the one place we lived for 8 years, that was the longest I've ever lived in a house. Other than that, 6 years was the longest, but probably 5 years in one house was the average. I don't know anything other than packing it up and moving it, packing up and moving it. So tell me, you who have lived in your house for a long time or plan to, how do you manage that accumulation of stuff? How do you manage to not accumulate stuff on earth? And there's a difference between accumulating stuff and the treasure, right? I mean, your heart may not be there, and you may have your stuff that you haven't cleaned out the closet in a while, but that's really not where your heart is at. But for some of us it is. I mean, if you had to get rid of everything today, or if you lost everything today, your heart would be devastated. How are you managing your treasure? How are you managing your treasure? We all have different things that hold us, that draw us in, that we set maybe as an idol, or could easily become an idol between us and God. And you remember Jesus said you can't serve two masters. You cannot serve two masters. Either you hate one or despise one, or you just can't. You can't. And so even we have to be really careful that this dream doesn't take a higher place of honor than God. If God calls us to stop right now and do something different, are we going to be able to do that? Are we going to have the mindset, the wherewithal to do that? I hope so. So if God calls you to start cleaning out, start downsizing your home, can you do that? When you hold something in your hand and go, how in the world can I get rid of this? Make yourself do it. First of all, it's freeing. It's been so freeing to just know that it has to go. I can't worry about this. But second of all, it's a challenge to the heart, and I think it's a good challenge. So there you go. There's an update on our situation. There's an update on a challenge for you, and I do continue to even though this is several months down the road, our hope is to continue the bending road. I think it's most appropriate to take the bending road on the road with us, and I hope you'll stay with us during that time. Hey, you have a great week. We will see you next week along the bending road. I am so glad we can travel along this bending road together. You can connect with me on social media or on my website at bendingroad.weebly.com. I would love to pray for you as you navigate the bends in your road. And when the bends in your road come, do not be afraid. Take the hand of God and keep walking. You are not alone.